Hey there, trainers. This is your friendly neighborhood outlaw, Johnny Starwin, back once again. It has been a crazy past couple weeks on my end, but especially a past week for all you fellow trainers out there. What can I say? There have been many things that led to, stuff that's coming out. Because not only did we get a new trailer for Pokemon Detective Pikachu movie, we also got a new trailer, albeit in Japanese, of the new Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution movie trailer that's coming out in Japan and assumedly coming out here in America, which is a retelling of the first Pokemon movie, only with 3D CGI. Everything looks, it looks amazing. So smooth shading on everything, totally in contrast to what we get in the Detective Pikachu movie. But since this is based off of the animated series, the animated movie, it sort of makes sense. What else is there? Like I said, past couple weeks for me, because a few weeks ago I did the Pokemon game show. At KatsuCon, and it was crazy. Heck of a turnout. Even better of a master round. I changed it up a little bit, and the previous champion / master, she is now going to be called the master, because that's what's going to happen. Heidi, once again, she is the winner, and she will be able to come back next year to defend her title, because I made some changes to the game show. So whoever wins the master round, they get to come back next year with an automatic guaranteed badge. As long as the game show shows up on the schedule, the master will be able to come back with a badge automatically. So they don't have to pay for their own hotel room and food and everything, but other than that, they get a free badge for the entire weekend of the con. But that's not the final thing about this whole past week. Well, past 10 days, I'd say, since it's now Sunday and everything happened on Wednesday. So the countdown that happened on Twitter, where they were showing a come visit the region on Pokemon's Twitter, where it was like come visit the regions and doing each individual region. It was a countdown. That was the big sneaky suspicion going around, and turned out to be true, because on Wednesday we were graced with the first initial trailer, as well as the Pokemon Direct, announcing Pokemon Generation 8, Pokemon Sword, and Pokemon Shield, with our 3 new starters, Grookey, Scorbunny, and Sobble. Now, this video is going to be a little bit of a little backtrack, because previously, when Generation 8 was brought up on this channel, involving like Generation 8 specifically, in regards to what the starter Pokemon will be, we were given, it was a year and a few days, because the video was on, when did I do that video? I did that video on the 25th of February last year. So about a year and 5 days ago, when the initial fan art leaks came out of the 3 starters, with the grass lemur, the fire rabbit, and the water platypus, and that made everybody go crazy. So then I went down and gave up my possibilities of what the starters could be, and also commented on that artwork as well. So now that we got the official, yes, it is a fire bunny. the Fire Bunny. So now we have 4. Yeah. Lantern Core of Hope, baby. We have 4 different. We have 4 more left in the Chinese zodiac that can be that'll more than likely be a fire starter in the upcoming 12 games. I mean, the upcoming 4 games. Hopefully. So, unfortunately, my idea of having a whole team of just beefy tank Pokemon starters is not coming to fruition. But we got a grass monkey, that funky monkey, and yes, when I get the game, I'm gonna get the Grookey, and I am gonna name him Beastie because grass monkey, that funky monkey. And now a little bit of that, but we got the Grookey, the grass monkey, funky monkey, Scorbunny, the fire rabbit, and we got Sobble, which is a water-type chameleon-esque Pokemon. A chameleon-esque amphibious Pokemon. So, we are now looking in... So now everybody is having speculation about what their final forms will look like, what their final typings will be. But I'm also going to point out to my buddy Mike, because he shared with me a picture just after they released. It was either just after they released or just before they released the trailer, which was denoting all the starters, and all the starters have a generalized theme amongst them all. All the grass starters are prehistoric and or extinct creatures. All the fire types based off the Chinese zodiac, and all the water types are based off of weapons, have a weapons mechanic built in, a weapons sort of system, you know. So, well, weapons, not only like the cannons on Blastoise or whatnot, but also the claws of Feraligatr, a ferocious alligator, and the arms of Swampert, which have been described in the Pokedex description to be able to smash boulders easily. So that's getting me to think, what? And that's just all the water types. So we already know that the fire type is going to be a grass rabbit, which matches with the Chinese zodiac. Okay, that part's taken care of. So Grookey is more likely going to turn into a giant prehistoric, currently extinct ape or monkey of some sort. But then that leaves Sobble. What weapon mechanic will it get? Will it get, you know, sort of daggers, sort of, who knows? But we also have, so my friend posted that chart to me, to where the chart, you know, vertically, it was like that. All the grass were on one side, all the fires were in the middle, and all the waters were on the other side. And at the top it said, prehistoric creature, prehistoric extinct, Chinese zodiac, and weapons. But then it also had another bar off to the side, where each of the 3 had a link together with one another. I believe Gen 1 was genetics, Gen 2 was mutations, but they all had similar themes. So that got me thinking, what is going to be the theme for this generation? Now this is the other side, because if you've seen one of the other videos on my thing, I am into D&D, and I have a feeling the overall theme, linking the linking these Gen 8 starters together is going to be Dungeons and Dragons. Specifically 3 classes. And based off of that, and I'm basing this purely off of what we were introduced into the reveal trailer, as well as little looking up of their names. So I looked up their name. I looked up the names because I want to see what the basis is. Because you can always get a generalized idea of what is going to be the overall theme of a Pokemon looking at its name. So, Grookey, which I initially thought Grove Monkey. Okay, granted Grove doesn't have 2 O's, but you can see where I was going with this. But when I actually looked at it, and I looked at its other names in other languages, it's actually Groove Monkey, which we saw from it hitting the stick on the ground to create a beat. I initially thought sports at first, since, you know, in the trailer we see our player character to be able to put on a jersey of some sort and play an arena sport. So I thought, okay, arena sports might be an overall theme here. But no. So, Grookey's name comes from groove and monkey. Its other language names also depict a monkey or ape and energy or music or words associated with music. The French name Wistempo is a combination of Wistiti, which is French, which I believe is the French word for monkey, or any sort of monkey creature, and tempo, which is used to denote speed in music. The German name is Chimpep, which is a combination of chimpanzee and pep, energy. So that's the overall theme with the name. It's going to be a music monkey. So the drumming of the stick, which I'll get into where I'm going with my D&D classes after I do the initial introduction of the Pokemon. So we also got Scorbunny, which when Scorbunny is first introduced, Scorbunny's running up practically a vertical wall. Well, practically a vertical archway before jumping down and whatnot. And then finally, we're introduced to Sobble, which was invisible after attacking with its water gun. So, used a water gun attack, was invisible, and then became visible afterwards. So, here's where I'm going. My prediction is that the 3 starters are based off of D&D classes, specifically Bard, Monk, and Rogue. Based off of this idea, I have a feeling that we're gonna get a drummer style final evolution monkey, the Bard. We're gonna get Kung Fu Master style rabbit, fire rabbit, and we're gonna get a very sneaky, very dodgy water type rogue. So based off of these 3 guesses, I'm gonna say that the final evolutions will be based around that. We're gonna have a grass bard. We're gonna have the grass monkey be a bard. The The fire rabbit being the monk, and we're gonna have the water chameleon amphibious creature be a rogue. Now, as far as typing goes, I'm gonna play off to what I wanted to happen in 6th generation. But what I wanted to happen in 6th generation, to where the types, the advantage, disadvantage goes one way, but the secondary type flips it around and goes the other way. So the grass starter will have the initial advantage against the water, but in their final evolution, the water will then be able to have an advantage over the grass starter based off of their secondary typings. So, as painfully as it is to hear for some of my trainers out there, Scorbunny's final evolution is going to be a fire-fighting monk rabbit. I'm figuring Grookey's final evolution is going to be a grass psychic bard. And the reason why I'm saying psychic is because, well, magic. Yeah. Magic explains everything. So I'm going to say grass psychic bard. I'm going to say psychic magical energies to allow it to make it regrow grass, much like bards who have magic spells. They have spell. Yes, the music player can play a song, and all of a sudden you're hit with damage in D&D. I know. But here's what happens. So I'm placing my bets right now until we get the second forms, or until further announcements, that my guess is going to be grass psychic bard for Grookey, firefighting monk, so kung fu style rabbit for Scorbunny. And I'm gonna go. Now the thing is, for Sobble, the rogue can have two different things here. It's definitely gonna be water as the main basis, but I have a feeling either dark, so water dark, which again, that seemed to make Greninja super popular. So water dark having an advantage over psychic, but having a weakness to fighting. Or I'm gonna say, so I'm thinking either water dark or water ghost to go along with its ability to turn invisible. Now I know what you're thinking. Fighting does not have an advantage over Ghost. Fighting cannot hit Ghost. This is true. However, let's say that one of the moves that Scorbunny gets is Foresight. Totally allows for normal and fighting moves to hit a ghost type Pokemon. Or that its hidden ability, because everything gets a hidden ability for the most part, its hidden ability is Scrappy. That would be amazing for a firefighting type Pokemon to get Scrappy as an ability, especially if it's the firefighting starter. I mean, that's just crazy. We all know that they're going to start out with the common starter abilities: Overgrow, Blaze, and I don't know, I never really played the water types. In fact, I never played the fire types either. I just know Blaze and Overgrow, because I always pick the grass starter. Which again, I'm not changing my style, because grass monkey, that funky monkey. So, that is my guess for the 8th generation Pokemon starters. Their final evolutions will be based, that their design will be based around Dungeons and Dragons character classes, specifically the Bard for Grookey, the Monk or Fighter. You can go either or, but mostly Monk. So we're gonna look at a Kung Fu Rabbit for Scorbunny, and a Rogue for Sobble. Now, and based off of this, my overall typing for the final evolutions are going to be grass, based off of what I want to see happen. Granted, it might not happen, but still, you understand why I'm saying this, because it makes sense. It would be beautiful for the starters to have advantage over each other later on in their career, later on in their evolutions, not just from bred move sets or whatnot, but from actual physically being able to have the advantage. Especially think about the dynamic with having your rival, and your rival naturally gets the Pokemon that has an advantage over you. But think about having your Pokemon having interacted with your rival enough times to where it evolves to develop an advantage over your rival's starter. That is what I like. That is what I want. So my final evolutions for the starters will have a Grass Psychic, a Fire Fighting, and a Water. Now, my initial guess was Water Dark, but Water Ghost also works with that aspect. So, I'm going with that. I don't want to be double. I didn't want to be double for the Sobble, but both of those have equal balance to them. They both have equal reasoning behind them. So, I'm going with that. So yeah, Grookey's final form will be a Bard. Will be inspired by the Bard class from D&D, and will be Grass Psychic. Scorbunny's final evolution design will be inspired by the Monk class, and will be Fire Fighting, and Sobble's final evolution will be based off of the Rogue, and will either be Water Dark or Water Ghost. So, what do you guys think about my analysis of the starter Pokemon for Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield? Leave your comments, leave your thoughts down below. Hit like, share, subscribe, comment, please. I want to hear what all of y'all say. And if y'all were at the 6th annual Capsicum Pokemon Game Show, thank you for coming. I hope to see you all next year. I just have to wait for the convention to open up their panel registration, and as soon as that opens, I'm applying right then and there. All right? So, this is your friendly neighborhood outlaw, Johnny Starwind, saying that, have fun with it. I can't wait to see all you trainers on the game. All right? Peace out, everybody.